Hello, 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 and welcome. Good morning, as I continue to recover, hopefully quite quickly, from full-blown COVID-19. I'm getting back into the swing of things, so this is a big welcome to my subscribers. We are around 825 now, I think, which I'm extremely grateful for. Thank you very much for the support as we get closer to 900. I don't do the subscribe, like, smash that like button, preamble, etc. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. If not, enjoy the content. Welcome aboard the Thallium Explorer. This is my large grid little base ship that I can explore and land on planets like Mars. It has a refinery, 2 assemblers, and a bunch of other features, but it's not why we're here. Why are we here? Well, we're here. Don't need that ladder on creative, but it is cool. I'm quite pleased with that ladder. Using a hinge lets me land the Thallium on a planet, and if I run out of jump fuel in survival, well, it's easy enough to get back aboard the ship. So here we go. The paint system. I wanted to talk to you about the paint system. There are problems in Space Engineers sometimes when trying to paint things. Now this is my creative save, but what I'm going to show you here should work on survival as well. You'll need to activate creative mode tools in survival to do it, but this is the Century Eagle, another ship that's up on Mod.io. This version isn't up on Mod.io. It's in progress. And it is pretty cool. It's got several mods on it. I'm using the rotary airlock, which is one of my favourite mods. I'm using the some of the azimuth mods, including their ore detector, and the interior has been repainted thanks to a comment from Dave Van Druen. I hope I've said Dave's name right. One of the things I had a problem with, though, was how to paint behind a block like this. Because if you're painting a ship, when you've got blocks that are just standing out in the open, it's fairly easy. So, painting in Space Engineers, simple. Hold down the right bumper, tap down on the D-pad, press B, and you're into the paint tool. Now if you want to paint a colour that you're using, so let's say I want to paint a block this coloured neon with the lovely emissive lights, I tap the left trigger and it's already set for me. So any block that I now paint with the right trigger will paint up. And if you notice, there's 2 outlines on this paint tool. There is the outline that forms a box. That box is telling you that you're actually painting the object in front of that block. And as you can see, it's tricky to aim for the right block to get behind that light, because there's lights up there as well. So if I paint now, I am going to paint that light, not the block behind it. So how do I paint that block behind it? This is why I'm doing this video. This is something I discovered a while ago with Spectator camera, but I've been refining it, and I realised I didn't really do a video based on the paint tool. This takes a little bit of getting used to, because you're going to have to think inside the box as well as outside the box. And what you do, make sure that you've got your creative mode tools enabled if you're on survival. If you're on creative, you're fine. Tap in the right stick, choose spectator mode, turn it on, confirm, and now you make sure your speed is low, so you can tap up or down on the right stick while holding the right bumper and you'll change the speed of your camera. So we're going to ghost paint the block behind the light. How do we do it? Well, we slide into the wall and we move forwards. Then we bring up our paint tool like I just showed you and we come back out there so it's in our hand, and you'll see that while you're in the paint tool, if you're inside this block will light up. When you see it like this, hopefully pressing paint, there you go, you've now painted that block. And spectator painting actually works in spectator cam. So for instance, if I want to do this whole top bit of wall, I don't need to go back to my character. Now if you'll notice there, if I press paint now, I'm going to paint the wrong part. So once again, we slide into the wall, we look until we've got the cube highlighted, and we tap paint here, and you notice I've painted the wrong thing, but that's fine. So make sure that you face the way you want to paint and look around inside the box. It can take some getting used to, but there you go. So nobody's going to see that conveyor anyway, so shh. But spectator painting means that you can pass through walls. So you can paint your whole ship while you're standing outside or inside, and you're not having to fly around with your jetpack. You can paint to your heart's content using spectator mode and not have to worry. So say we wanted to put that on both sides of the Century Eagle, we could be painting in symmetry mode. I've covered that in the past, how to use symmetry mode and so on. And then we've got a whole host of things that we can do. We are having great fun with this. You could paint a whole ship completely, totally and utterly. If you hear any whining, by the way, it's my cat. He's decided he wants to be part of the video, and he's brought me his little toy mouse. Go on, go on. Sorry about that. He loves his little toy mouse. So if you hear wailing in the background, that's my cat, Malcolm, 1 of 7. So there you go. That's ghost painting, spectator cam painting, paint anything, everything. Just go nuts with it, pass through your entire ship, find places that you normally couldn't get to. Here's a great example of painting behind my gyroscope. I can't get to that block there. If I try and paint now, I will paint that gyroscope yellow. But if I sneak round the back slowly, you'll see that I have painted the block behind the gyroscope yellow, and that is spectator painting. I'm going to be doing more videos. I'm actually going to start a very basic Space Engineers tutorial series right from the get-go. What happens when you get the game? What happens when you look at the menus? What are your scenarios? What are your options? Is it worth buying the DLC? I'm going to take you from the beginning in a new series of tutorials for brand new players. I know mine are sort of new player orientated, but there's also some complex stuff in there. I'm going to teach you how to move around the game. I'm going to teach you how to go into third person camera and all the cool stuff, as well as the stuff that's basically simple. How to put your tools in your hand, how to put them away, how to aim with an assault rifle down sight, and so on and so forth. Basically everything that you'll need to know will go on a separate new playlist, and I'm going to have some fun with it. Also coming up potentially after this video, a little bit of, let me just speed up the spectator cam, a little bit of a tease. You'll see it there, and when it's activated it will look out into space and it will stare out there at my moon HQ, and it will allow me to do some wonderful things. What I'm going to do though is I'm actually going to give you a demonstration of what it allows me to do just before we sign off from my spectator painting tutorial. Let's get out of all that and turn my jetpack off, leave the Century Eagle and zip over to my base with the Thallium Explorer. This is a laser antenna. They are very useful. They are, however, blocked by grids, line of sight. You'll see my cargo, my little drone flying around there. If that passes in front of the laser antenna, it will block the laser antenna. But laser antennas are fantastic things. Imagine if you're on Earth and you have a remote controlled drone on Mars. Could you control that drone? Well, with a laser antenna, yes, you can. So let's connect up my laser antenna with its infinite range. But you'll notice I don't have any coordinates. At the moment that I can connect to, because it's part of my base, my drone keeps connecting to the base and kicking me out of the menu. Here we go. So I will now connect this towards my asteroid base. It's now looking at my asteroid base. So if I go to my terminal, obviously I will show you on a proper tutorial how this is done. There's a bit more to it, but I have a bunch of things. I have Miner 459er. So if I press A to take control, now you'll notice that nothing's happened. This is because I need to activate the remote camera on board Miner. We are now in charge of Miner 49er in space. What can we do? Well, let's use my sensor based hangar door as we fly slowly towards it. Now bear in mind that the range on the laser antenna is line of sight and infinite. So my Earth laser antenna is connected to this one. That means I can control my little Miner 49er from Earth without needing to come to the asteroid. I can do a bunch of mining, I can get some resources, and then I can come back home or drop them off. And I don't need to press any buttons because I have a sensor operated hangar door which detects when the ship approaches and when the ship leaves the sensor field. Go. Coming down. And ready to lock. Kill the camera view. Exit remote control. And we're back on Earth. So, there you go. That is just a demo of the laser antenna in action. I will walk you through it in a tutorial. The next one. Until then, stay safe. Take care. Get your vaccination. Do not catch this thing. It can be lethal. And it nearly did take me out. And I'm not being dramatic, I'm not joking. My wife will attest to that. I'm very lucky to be alive. So, cherish what life you do have. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.